Today we'll be presenting on the case study of the incident at Morales. So this is the summary of the case study. So Fred, previously hired by Chemitoy, the rival of Faust, was hired by Faust Chemicals for a project. So he was accepted for the professional engineer role, although he did not possess the qualifications. The project thus commenced, even though there were both time and financial constraints. Fred struggled to meet these constraints as it went against ethical standards. So the pressure from Fred's supervisor clouded his vision as well as his ethical values. This had resulted in the project being completed with lower quality materials, and eventually the plant had failed, and this resulted in the death of the plant manager. So the stakeholders identified in this case study included both primary and secondary stakeholders. So the primary stakeholders identified were Faust Company, Chemistry, Fred, Wally, and Chuck. Secondary stakeholders that were identified was Lutz and Lutz, governments, both America and Mexico, the environmentalist, which actually happens to be Fred's wife, Chemitoy, Swiss Chem, as well as Manuel, which was the plant manager for Faust's plant in Mexico. Next, Cheron will be presenting on ethical issues.
Yeah, so one of the ethical issues that we have identified is cost savings, where Fred, Chuck, and Wally plot against the operation and maintenance team so as to reduce costs, as they are working around with a very tight budget, which compromise on the quality of plant and endangering safety of people. And as for engineering responsibilities, we have the design responsibilities, where the plant was in operation even with many faults, and there were no design consideration for margin of error, and components used for the plant were not of good quality. And lastly, Fred did not stood up against his superiors even when he knew he were wrong. And then the conflict of interest, where Chuck's brother-in-law was noted to be the US representative of Lutz and Lutz. Hence, despite the high prices, they were used in a project that was meant to be done from scratch. And the difference in morals, where Fred's supervisor, Wally's prioritization on meeting the deadlines and working within the budget to earn his share of the bonus, had caused Fred to soon succumb to the pressure and follow suit. And then ignoring signs and advices, where Fred ignored advices given regarding needing better quality panels. He also neglected the leak in the pipes, knowing the consequences. Fred failed to amend his design after gaining knowledge that the new operating ranges would affect the equipment. He also failed to factor in other implications the plant would bring about, given that he had read the ethics manual. Next, Divyaa will tell you more.
Carrying on from what Cheron had said, another issue that we identified was safety. For safety, we categorized it into two parts, which is public safety and employee safety. For public safety, it was compromised due to the toxic chemicals that were released into the pit. And for employee safety, it was the low quality pipes, flanges, and couplings that were not suitable for the newer operating range. And that caused a leak, which affected the employee safety. There was also a lack of plant inspection for the pipes that were to be procured from a new supplier from Mexico. They utilized cheaper sensors that were not able to provide accurate readings, therefore having manual to run the plant manually even though the plant was meant to be run automatically. The next issue is possible bribery. It can be deduced that Fred may have been bribed because he was unable to disclose information regarding his work to his wife. This is due to the nature of her occupation. Furthermore, this is substantiated when Fred does not deny the allegations of him receiving money when he was approached to join the company. Lastly, was prior working experience with the competitor. He ignored the fact that Faust actually hired him because he knew insider information on Chemitoy. Next, I'll be passing my time to Abby.
Okay, next we'll be analyzing the ethical issues faced in the case study. So first one is the company priorities. So different companies have different cultures and values. So for Faust, their company priorities lie between both their business objective as well as their ethical standards. And in this case study, they prioritize their business objective more than the ethical standards or values. So company ethical standards in the real world are usually only questioned when a catastrophe occurs. Ethical standards are often compromised due to the prioritization of deadlines as well as cost savings. as a team identified is balancing the priorities. So both ethical issues and business objectives should be prioritized equally. In the case study, files prioritize the budget and project deadline, and therefore there is little consideration for ethical issues as poor quality materials were used knowing that they would fail eventually. So this ultimately led to the failure of the plant and also the death of the manager. So this proves that ethical standards should never be shortchanged as consequences would be dire. Next, we move on to project considerations. So what could have been done better? First, stop the project when the budget was slashed. So Fred knew that the plant would not be built safely and properly without sufficient funds. Conduct proper research on what components to use while satisfying the budget constraints. So the problems within the plant only occurred because rash decisions were made in finding cheap suppliers within a short span of time. Taking the advice of the plant managers from the previous successful plant owned by Faust. So when they had their site visit, previous managers advised Fred that lower quality controls cannot be used in the new plant but the advice had fallen on deaf ears. Next would be to actually hire a qualified professional engineer. So Fred was not a PE and lacked the experience to make crucial decisions. And lastly, all employees should be aware of ethical standards to follow. In conclusion, reformations in Faust policy is necessary because ethical standards should always be held as a higher priority or equal standing as the business objective. Working environment also plays a crucial role in every employee's mentality as well as their goals. Ensuring proper workplace practices is essential for the growth of the company, and ethical standards should never be compromised as it has an extensive effect on one's professionalism, reliability, as well as the welfare of the community. Okay, we have come to the end. Thank you.